Next one is your income tax. I'll not explain income tax in detail because you must have enough idea about income tax. We have different types of slab here. Slabs. Like for example, 0% tax exemption. Then we have 5%. Then we have 20% and 30% plus or 30%. 30% plus means cess on the super rich. So this is the income. It means below. Yes, please. 2.5 lakh. Then 2.5 to 5 lakh. This is 5 lakh to 10 lakh and 10 lakh plus. These are the slabs. Now for normal people. Senior citizens slabs are different. So if you are earning below 2.5 lakh, do not have to pay any kind of income tax. And these are the slabs. The previous rate of this slab was 10%. But in the budget 2 years back, our Union Finance Minister announced that we are reducing the income tax rate for the second slab from 10% to 5%. It means there is a loss of revenue of 5% of this people in this bracket. Suppose you are earning 12 lakh rupees. How will calculate this? अब डिस्कस किया तो पूरा कर ही लेते. 12 lakh, it means from this 12 lakh, on the first 2.5 lakh, you do not have to pay any tax. This is how we calculate. पता है आपको? If you are earning 12 lakh, on the first 2.5 lakh, no need to pay any tax. Deduct 2.5 from this 12. How much? 9.5 lakh. Another 2.5 lakh bracket. So minus, deduct that 2.5 from 9.5. How much it becomes? 7 lakh. So on the next 2.5 you have to pay only 5%. Remaining is 7 lakh. On 7 lakh, on 5 lakh you have to pay 20%. Getting remaining amount is 2 lakhs. So on the 2 lakh you have to pay 30%. If you calculate this, your tax liability will come out. This is not like this, that if you are earning more than 10 lakh, flat 30%. No. And you can save up to 1 lakh rupees. So this limit of 2.5 you can stretch to 3.5 by making investment in government securities, etc. So remember that India was experienced high savings. Factors behind high savings was this one, government policy. Government always promotes savings. So this is how we promote. If you want, suppose you are earning 3.5 lakh rupees and if you do not want to pay any amount of tax, you just 2.5 exempted, then for the next 1 lakh you buy some kind of policy, you can invest in NSC or you can take some kind of loan. Then you are able to save tax amount till 3.5 lakh. So exemption under ATC, ATU, these are the income tax provision. So this will come under Income Tax Act 1961. Acts are important. Income Tax Act 1961. This is how we calculate income tax. We calculate this, calculate 5% of 2.5 lakh. Yeah, fast. 0.125. No. 5% of 1 lakh rupees. 5,000. 5,000. Then 10,000. 12,500. So 12,500. 5 lakh. 20% of 5 lakh. Very easy. Yes. 10. 1 lakh. 1 lakh. 30% of 2 lakh. 60,000. So calculate this. 1,72,500. 1,72,500 is your tax liability. So if you are earning 12 lakh per annum, you have to pay 1,72,500 for, and it will go to government. Have you written this? Okay. So write definition. Income tax is a tax imposed on individuals according to the Income Tax Act 1961. According to the Income Tax Act of 1961. First off, there are different kinds of slab. There are different kinds of slabs. Under income tax. You understand the word slabs? Slabs under GST is 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. So these are slabs. So under income tax there are also slabs. You remember the discussion of corporate income tax? There was no slab, flat 30%. हाँ ठीक है. Tax deducted at source, tax collected at source. There are two types of term. You heard about TDS. Rarely heard about this tax collected at source. So tax collected at source means, suppose for example businessmen generally file their advance taxes. But this will take our discussion too deep into income tax. So we'll not discuss. So generally tax deducted at source means, suppose you are a government employee. Government knows your tax liability and income. So they will deduct your tax at the source. So this 1,72,500, if you are a government employee, you will never get this amount. But in private, you will get this amount, but you have to pay it. But we are not bothered about this. ठीक है, क्या लिखा था? हाँ ठीक है. Did you write that Income Tax Act point? ठीक है. Income tax comes under the category of direct tax. Income tax comes under the category of a direct tax. Full stop, that's it. Okay. Next one is your corporate income tax. Corporate income tax. Now before we come on to this, we have to understand few terms. Like what is cess, what is surcharge. I'll make you write after we'll discuss all the tax, but just we'll discuss cess, surcharge, progressive and regressive tax. Then there is also a term called tax expenditure or revenue foregone. These are same terms. So first of all, we need to understand this term. Remember that for the middle income, it was 20%, and for above, it was 5% income tax, 0% and 30%. So I told you that the previous slab was 0%, 10%, 20% and 30%. But every year, individuals' expectations are there that Government of India will announce in the budget that there may be some deduction in the tax. Getting my point? So government reduces the tax on this particular slab. The government is incurring loss of 7,000 crore by reducing this 5% tax. So your revenue is fixed. 9.6 lakh crore you have to mop up from direct tax. This was the target. This is the actual target. So there is a shortage of 7,000 crore. Then we have to do something to cover that particular loss. It's a huge loss, you can imagine, 7,000 crore loss in the revenue. So what government introduced in the income tax, they've imposed certain kind of surcharge. Surcharge is simple tax on super rich. So people earning more than 1 crore, they have to pay 10% surcharge. So this was on the previous regime, but when we deducted this, when we reduced the amount of tax from 10% to 5%, we have incurred loss like this, 7,000. We have to do something, obviously in income tax itself. So government imposed people earning more than 50 lakh. Government imposed 5% surcharge. And that later raised to 10%, and here they later raised to 15%. Now 15%, what is 15%? This is the meaning of surcharge. It means 15 and 10% of the taxable amount. Getting my point? Now for example, if someone is earning 1 crore rupees, the tax liability comes out as 10 lakh tak will be same, then after 10 lakh 30%, because there is no slab after 10 lakh. Suppose the tax liability comes out as maybe 30 lakh approximately. So if you are earning 1 crore annually, you have to pay 30 lakh. And due to the fault that you are a super rich, you have to pay 10% surcharge on it. Now 10% surcharge means this is tax on tax. So this 10% on the taxable amount. So 10% of 30 lakh is 33 lakh total. So 3 lakh. So this is the meaning of tax expenditure, revenue foregone. We'll write in later. Cess means simple, it is imposed for a special purpose. Like for example, if government wants to promote primary education, and in order to mop up the funds, government will impose cess. So cess is generally for special purpose. Like if you remember the discussion of service tax, there was cess of 0.5% on Krishi Kalyan cess. So the fund which we will get from that cess 0.5 will go towards the welfare of the farmer, Krishi Kalyan cess, and Swachh Bharat cess will use that fund for cleaning up the country. Getting it right? And progressive and regressive are simple terms. Whenever you will experience that there is a rise in the income level, tax rate will also go up. This is what we call progressive tax structure. Regressive is just opposite. Whenever your income goes up, tax amount will go down. Okay. Do we have a real life example of regressive? Indirect taxes, we can say, but they are proportional. Their impact is regressive. They are proportional means flat 18%, irrespective of who is availing the services. Getting it? If a billionaire is availing the services of some particular restaurant, he has to pay 18%. If middle class income group is availing that services, it will also come as 18%. So the impact is regressive because the value of that 18% is different for different individuals. That is what we call utility of money, marginal utility of money. 100 rupees, the value of 100 rupees is different for different individuals. Progressive and regressive. If we made income tax structure regressive, what do you think? It is a good policy or bad policy? Here what happened? If your income is increasing, your tax liability will also go up. But what about regressive? Means your income will go up and your tax rate will go down. What do you think? Is it beneficial for the economy or not? Think from both perspectives. Do not make preconceived notion. If I am saying it is bad, if I am saying it is good, no.
So maybe not for economy, but not for the welfare people. If there is lower tax rate and the higher, then maybe more rich people would give more taxes, and even if the more taxes taken from the lower base, then also tax will increase. So
But this type of progressive tax structure is discouraging to earn more. Getting my point? If I am earning 9.9 lakh and in a year I will earn extra 25,000, then I will try to evade that tax on that extra 25. Getting my point? Suppose for example you are earning 99 lakhs. Obviously, you will do everything just to remain below 1 crore. So this type of tax structure is not promoting a rise in the income. If you are adopting a regressive tax, so if you earn 1 crore, you have to pay less. If you earn 2 crore, you have to pay more less. It means we can say like from 30% to 25%. If you earn 2 crore and above, you will pay only 20%. What about this?
it is not a job of the tax to decide if it is going to promote something or not. If we are earning tax would anyhow be collected. So both are different.
But there are tax evasion cases of tax evasion. That is why we are moving towards digitalization, etc. Talking about value addition, inventing new methods. So this is but for a developing country, progressive taxation is a good taxation because majority of the population comes under the category of middle class or lower income group. That's the same case with India. US economies or advanced economies can adopt some kind of a regressive tax structure. Like previously, suppose for example, tax structure like this. Getting my point? This is the middle. Suppose this is 50 lakh. If you earn more than 50 lakh, your tax liability will go down. If you are earning this, suppose 2 lakh, tax liability is 0. So there is an incentive. I'm just thinking, if you explore your mind, you will get this idea is not bad actually. People will show their income. People will desire to become a billionaire. Here what they are saying, according to unofficial data, there are a number of billionaires in India. But if we see the tax amount collected by the government, I'm thinking from government's perspective, you are showing 0 tax and you are driving luxury cars. You are having big, large penthouse. Getting my point? But what is happening? Your tax liability is 0. That is why income tax officials nowadays accessing your Facebook profile. आपको पता है? So be careful. They are keeping track of your foreign visits as well. If people are not earning, how is it possible? Getting my point? So keep your social networking. This is not a private networking, this is a public networking. So be careful. Check.
There is an excess over there because only 5% people are paying tax. So is it so different?
3.9%. The actual data given by. Huh.
It is so minuscule number. So why are they checking Facebook? They can easily get and grab those people who are invading the tax.
How?
But they're not. Is it like if everyone buying?
If we talk about implementation, we'll not discuss this here. If we are talking about policy, we are here for the policy. Because there are a number of loopholes in implementation. So policies are good. It's all about implementation. Again and again I'm saying. So it depends on you to be the part of services and improve the implementation process. Sorry?
Are there chances that regressive tax structure will increase the tax?
Obviously, if you decrease the tax rate, people are willing to pay tax. Like for example, if you are imposing 5% GST on every commodity, So you are purchasing some commodity of 1 crore, you have to pay only 5 lakh. Why I'm saying only? Because if you are purchasing 1 crore of a commodity, 5 lakh is just a small amount. But if you have to pay 28 lakh, getting my point? Obviously you will try some different method of payment like cash. For example, in restaurant, AC restaurant, 18% taxation, non-AC 12%. What people were doing? They were not paying this, but people are paying 12% taxation. Same case happened with me. They are saying that you should pay in cash, we'll exempt this. What about 5-star hotel? What do you think? If government is keep on this GST rate at 28%, how many 5-star hotels are paying tax? If you reduce all the tax rate to 5%, obviously it will take some time, 2 or 3 years, government will incur huge losses. But here, cost of evading tax is more. Getting my point? If you will caught by not paying 5% GST, the cost is huge. Cost is means they will impose heavy penalties. So it is better to pay 5% and remain transparent. But here, cost of evasion is equal. If you evade the taxes like on a 4 or 5 occasion, you are able to save 4 and 5 occasion, this around 30 lakh rupees. It means 1.5 crore. If suppose someday the person will be caught by income tax authority and they will impose the penalty of 1 crore. It is very easy because they evaded tax of 1.5 crore. So it is very easy to pay 1 crore of penalty. Still you are in a profit of 50 lakh rupees. So if you reduce the tax rate, it will increase the base because cost of evasion is high. Getting my point? That is why a lot of policymakers, economists are keep on talking that we should increase the tax base by reducing the GST rate. If you see the data of GST, in November 2017, on 15th November 2020, we have reduced a lot of rates, a lot of commodities. So we have shifted the bracket from commodities under 28% to 18%. Commodities which were the part of 18%, they comes out in 12% to 5%. So there was a change in around 200 plus commodities. What happened next year or next month? The data comes out. I think in October 2017, best of my memory, the GST collection was around 85,000 crore of that month. But whenever see the data of December, it rose to around 89,000 crore. How? When you reduce the tax rate, tax base will increase. People are now paying tax. So cost of evasion is the only thing. It will reduce the cost of evasion. Obviously in the short run, it means maybe in a 1 year or 2 year, government will incur huge loss. But that should accompany with certain measures like income tax rate, etc. You should adopt other policies. So are you understanding that regressive, progressive, cess, surcharge and revenue foregone?